Hi, everyone. My name is Dr. Lindsay Kwock, and I am a former professor of education, edTPA coordinator, and former public school teacher. I know that the edTPA is one of the most daunting tasks that you will have to complete during your credentialing coursework, so hopefully I am here to help. So let's talk learning segment and central focus. During our time together, we'll work to answer these three questions. How is the edTPA relevant and relate to the curriculum you are teaching in your classroom right now? What is the edTPA learning segment and central focus? And what are the steps that you need to begin taking in order to plan your learning segment and central focus? So right now you are either a student teacher or a full-time teacher of record in your classroom. But no matter what your context is, you have an idea of what a full curricular unit is. And a full curricular unit is typically defined by the essential questions, the big idea, or the collection of standards that your curriculum or you have identified for your students. Now, the length of the curricular unit can really vary, and it depends on the complexity of your content as well as the needs of your students. Sometimes it can be a few weeks long. In some cases, it can even be a few months long. But no matter what the length of your curricular unit might be, it is always broken down typically into what we call a learning goal, or you can call it a benchmark. But no matter what the language you use to describe the learning goal or the benchmark, these benchmark goals should always be measurable and enable you to really understand whether or not, one, your students have accomplished that key content or that skill you have just finished teaching them and are now prepared to move on to the future content or skill that is needed to be taught in order to accomplish or answer that essential question, big idea, or collection of standards. Now, your edTPA learning segment is a smaller portion of this full curricular unit. And the edTPA learning segment is broken down into specific lessons or hours of connected instruction. And these hours or these lessons should ultimately culminate in students' ability to accomplish that learning goal, that benchmark, or what edTPA calls the central focus. And the central focus is essentially a description of the key content, concepts, or skills that students should accomplish as a result of going through the learning segment. So here are the steps that you need to take to begin planning your learning segment and central focus. With the first step, you must identify the section of the full curricular unit that you will teach for edTPA. So this will require you to review your standards, your required curriculum, and really ask yourself what content or skill can be reasonably taught within a single week. In the next step, you should take steps to identify your central focus. So be able to describe the skill or the content that your students will need to know or be able to do at the end of the learning segment. And finally, you should design or adapt your existing lessons that will scaffold your students to accomplish the central focus. So this will require you to identify any instructional strategies that you will intentionally embed to differentiate and build upon your student needs and assets, as well as begin thinking about their language needs. And this is not necessarily just limited to your English language learners. So I hope that this has been helpful to you. If you have any questions, comments, or suggestions on topics to be covered, feel free to follow me on Twitter. You can subscribe to my channel on YouTube, leave a comment on this video, and if you would like this PowerPoint for free, feel free to go to www.theteacherlab.com. My name is Dr. Lindsay Kwock, and I look forward to continuing to connect with you. Thank you.